Podcasting. Hello and welcome back to the Star Wars Network podcast. Now this is Podcasting. I'm Luke.
And I'm Dino.
Thanks for joining us today for episode 5?
Yes.
Yep, episode 5. So some Star Wars news recently, yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, first things first.
So there was George Lucas recently spoke out about his feelings regarding the sequels and everything that's gone down since he sold Lucasfilm to Disney.
Yeah. So, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, he has a new memoir that's out.
Yeah.
It's called Ride of a Lifetime. In order to drum up press for it, they've released snippets of the book, and one of which was about George Lucas feeling betrayed. So there's a couple lines from it. In particular, so he says about the film. So George Lucas had written a bunch of treatments, so basically like outlines.
He wrote like almost scripts for the sequels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he assumed that they were going to use that.
Yeah.
But they didn't end up.
They just scrapped it.
Yes. So this is a quote. This is from Bob Iger's memoir. George immediately got upset as they began to describe the plot, and it dawned on him that we weren't using one of the stories he submitted during the negotiations. Mm-hmm. George knew we weren't contractually bound to anything, but he thought that our buying the story treatments was a tacit promise that we'd follow them.
Right.
And he was disappointed that his story was being discarded.
So they actually bought the treatments, the stories he wrote.
Yeah.
But they didn't use them.
They didn't.
I wonder why they bought it. Just maybe to keep him happy as part of the deal. Yeah. Wow. That's kind of dirty move, isn't it?
Yeah. And then he goes on to say, George felt betrayed, and while the whole process would have never been easy for him, we'd gotten off to an unnecessarily rocky start.
Right, so it wasn't a smooth transaction.
No. Obviously, this happened during the negotiations for the buying, and then...
When was this, like 2014?
This is They bought it in 2012.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's a couple years before that, I'm guessing. Right. And then he said, Lucas didn't hide his disappointment in each of the films... Lucas didn't hide his disappointment in each of the films in the original trilogy. It was important to him to present new worlds, new stories, new characters, new technologies.
Which has been the theme of Star Wars, really.
Yeah, each of the films does something different. It's a new planet, it's something we haven't seen before.
Almost different. Like, you can see between the prequels and originals, they're like completely different styles, right?
Yeah, and even between the prequels, that's when he had the most control. And like between 1 and 2, they feel different. Like,
yeah, they do.
The second one is basically a noir, like whodunit for much of it.
Yeah, it was like a lot more gritty and...
Mm-hmm. And then he goes on to say like he wasn't wrong about it. They just were under an immense amount of pressure with the first film to do something that fans knew and they could trust them.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's like they intended never to use it or that maybe later on they were looking at it and maybe they got cold feet and decided to go with a safer option.
Yes. I feel that.
Just to revitalize the franchise.
Yeah, no doubt they looked at it and were probably like, this is probably too different from what Star Wars fans are expecting.
Too bold.
Yes. And we all know what happened when they went bold with the prequels. It didn't... People weren't happy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, well, people aren't happy now, so there's no difference whether they use them or not. I guess people are still going to be unhappy. Yeah. Because that's what people do.
Yeah. I haven't seen the treatments. No one has seen them.
No one has seen them, yeah.
But I'm glad they probably refreshed the fourth film to give people that hope of like, oh, this is what you love about Star Wars.
Yeah.
In a flashier film.
It is kind of sad, though, when you think about it. Like, this is his life's work.
Yeah.
And it was like... I don't know why he sold it in the first place.
I think he knew he was going to get old. He is getting old.
I think he probably put too much trust in them to do the right... I think he thought he was going to be way more involved than he was.
Yeah. Whereas I don't think he had any...
Yeah. Because I think he didn't even get paid, like, cash, right? He got paid in stocks.
He got paid in stocks, but he also got paid in, I think, some cash.
So he got some cash, but it was a majority he got stocks in Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess because...
So, yeah.
There's already Star Wars theme park rides.
Yeah.
I think they did they're pretty good rides. And so I think he trusted them to do the rest of it.
Yeah, so when you think about it, it's like... It's not just the movies he was selling, it's like the whole brand, right? So there's a lot of money in that.
It's all these stories that he made up that he felt a personal attachment to.
Yeah.
Because for so long, it was just his baby. I don't know how else to describe it. It was his thing. and now somebody else is doing something else with it.
Yeah.
But he's probably not happy with it. He isn't happy with it.
Well, yeah. Anyway, hindsight. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
He sold it, and he's got to live with it now.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't like it, and that goes for the rest of us as well, I guess.
I will say, I find it odd that there were some fans who, not long ago, were saying George Lucas was the devil, are now coming to his defense.
It's like the devil you know, right?
Yeah.
He's like the familiar,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mm.
Can't change it.
Can't change it.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But, next topic, Dwan.
Next topic. So, what else was there? There was the Obi-Wan news, isn't there?
Yeah, so that came out a couple hours ago.
Yeah, a couple hours ago, as of this filming. They announced Deborah Chow as the new director for the series.
Mm-hmm.
And what has she done?
So, her big breakout film was something called... she's a Canadian director, and she wrote a film called, and directed a film, The High Cost of Living. It's with Zach Braff, came out 2010.
Yeah.
It won a couple of awards.
Yeah.
Since then, she's been doing mostly TV show directing. So people would probably know her from Jessica Jones. She directed a couple episodes of that.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she also is working on The Mandalorian. So she's directing some of the episodes in that.
Okay, so she's in the whole Disney circle, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so Kathleen Kennedy said, we were thinking about who to come in to direct.
Yeah.
And after seeing her work with The Mandalorian, they were really happy with her.
Okay.
So, okay,
that's
we'll
good.
get her to direct it.
It's good that she knows the franchise.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I guess she'll know what to do. She's been doing TV shows for a while.
Mm.
Yeah.
What we don't know is if she's going to be directing every episode.
Right. She's just a director.
She's a director. She's
not the showrunner. She's announced as a director, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't know if she's going to... It's very rare in TV to have one person direct every episode.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
In film, you just have the one director.
Yeah, no, they usually alternate or have multiple.
Yeah. And instead, the one team that actually has creative control are the writers.
The writers, yeah.
Because they're on it every episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she could direct every episode.
Maybe because it's confirmed one season, right?
Yes.
And it's probably not going to be, 10 episodes max, right? At least. So maybe it could be one director.
The last time I heard of this was the Dark Crystal prequel series. I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was done by one director.
Yeah.
It was a French director. He came in and directed...
How many episodes?
There are 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's doable if you know it's going to be one season.
Yeah.
And you can tell a complete story.
And I'm not sure 100% what episodes she's done of Jessica Jones. And we haven't seen The Mandalorian yet, so who knows. But
yeah. Well, Jessica Jones is pretty good.
Yeah, Jessica Jones is very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I reckon we might even get less than 10 episodes.
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like 6 is... A lot of shows are doing 6 now.
Mm. They also announced that this is going to take place 8 years after episode 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be, obviously, Obi-Wan Kenobi's story.
Yeah, so Luke will only be 8 years old as of this story. So 8 years after the fall of the Jedi, Order 66.
And how old is Luke in episode 4?
I feel like... I want to say 17, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it's 17. And by the end of 6, he's like 19 or 20. Because I think there's like 2 years between passes during those movies.
So by the end of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, there'll still be a gap. So if it does really well, who knows? Maybe they'll go back and tell more stories.
Yeah, there's potential for more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it because we finally have a director. So long, like, they just announced the show.
Yeah, it's like exciting information about it.
Yeah, rather than...
It's not just, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still don't know anything about the Cassian Andor show, which is troubling because...
And that's been announced well in advance.
Yeah.
That was announced like years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was one of the first things they announced that was happening.
Maybe they've just put it on, like, the shelf.
Yes.
And they just don't want to say anything.
Because they're doing that with a lot of shows recently.
Yeah.
They had a Muppet show that was going to come out, and then they cancelled that.
Yeah.
I love the Muppets. So they're doing a couple of things. They were supposed to do a Daredevil TV show for the American streaming service Hulu, and they've cancelled that. So there's a couple...
Didn't they already have a Daredevil?
Not Daredevil, pardon me. Ghost Rider.
Oh, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Ugh, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of shows that they're not going through with, and I guess this is just maybe...
One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't know yet. until we get confirmation.
Maybe they expected more hype to be around it, but there wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know why they would.
I don't know why they would expect it, but anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. And then of course there's the big news.
The big news, yes.
Which is Rise of Skywalker and Mandalorian have Lego sets now.
Oh yes. There was a whole. They did a whole weird toy release.
Yeah.
Like, was it like an expo? It was like an expo of some sort.
Yeah, some toy expo.
And they just revealed they had all the actors there, and they revealed all the toys and whatever, like the Lego sets. And
it's interesting that the people who design the toys haven't seen the film.
No, they just get told what to do, right?
Exactly. They've got a brief idea, and then they have to kind of make it up as they go along.
That's why it's never. There's always disparities between the toys and the movies and stuff.
Especially with Star Wars, like some of the early editions of the Star Wars toys.
They're like completely different.
Completely different. The characters.
Even the posters. Existed. Have you seen the original poster for 4?
Yeah.
It's like super different. It's funny.
Oh well, but yeah. They have to do toys. But in actuality, the big news is...
so they've just announced that Kevin Feige is going to be doing a Star Wars movie.
Yes.
And that's confirmed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a press release.
I think... Who came out with it? Variety, I think, was the first?
Yeah, I think so.
Variety. So Kevin Feige, Star Wars. What are your thoughts?
So he's not going to direct it. He's just going to be an executive producer with Kathleen Kennedy.
Right.
It's going to be one film. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
And that is about it. We know
one film with the potential for more, probably.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how you see, what do you think about Kevin Feige?
What's your opinion on it? Do you think it's a good thing, or do you think that, stay out of Star Wars?
I think I like Kevin Feige's movies so far. I think they're pretty good.
I think they can become a bit stale, maybe because we've had so many.
Yeah.
Like in regards to all the Marvel stuff, I found like by the end of it, I was a bit over the Marvel movies.
Yeah, I am as well. But they've been announcing the new slate for Phase 4. They've got phases.
Yeah, it's like, does anyone even care anymore? After the big Avengers movies done,
they've already said they're going to do smaller films. So characters we haven't seen before.
They're doing like Eternals and weird, B-list, C-list characters.
Yeah, people are not familiar with them.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with most of them. And so it'll be interesting to see how it all what is his filmic approach.
Yeah,
because otherwise, besides connected universe, what is his?
Is the idea for him to come on and develop the franchise more, like he's done with Marvel, or is it just coming on as?
It could be, because I know that...
Because that's why... Why else would you hire Kevin Feige? I'm sure he's a good producer, but...
And he loves Star Wars.
Yeah. He's a nerd as well, which is why, I guess... I think that's a big part of why the Marvel movies has been successful, because he's a huge fan, right?
Yes, and rather than getting these film producers who have no idea...
They have no idea, It's like... A good example of that is probably... the Zack Snyder Justice League movies.
Yeah.
Like, when you get someone who has... really, no offense to Zack Snyder, I think he's a good director or whatever, but if you get someone who doesn't really know the material, and they always want to have their weird spins on them as well, and it's it's not really true to the character. It's not what people want to see.
I was gonna say, the Superman that he created is not based on the comics. It's like a rejection of the other Supermans that have come.
Yeah.
And so having someone like Kevin Feige, who maybe is interested in Star Wars.
Yeah,
that might be a good
thing. That's good. I think it would be a positive thing, I think, for them.
What you were saying before about if they want to create a connected universe. Maybe this is the film that kind of ties in all these other spin-off projects they're doing.
Yeah, it's the first Iron Man of the Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Except there've been 10 other films already.
So maybe that's what they're doing, because he's really good at that, having all these projects going simultaneously.
Yeah, the interconnecting between the movies. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know why you bring in Kevin Feige, because he's not a director.
Yeah. He's
not writing it. He's just going to produce it.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, it's good. I guess didn't they brought him onto Justice League, the movie?
They brought on Joss Whedon to Justice League.
Yeah.
So
was he in Marvel as well?
He did the first 2 Avenger films.
Oh, okay.
And then they brought him on for Justice League.
Right. Was he the director?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when they were test screening the new films, the Justice League film, it just did really badly.
Yeah.
And Zack Snyder had it terrible loss in his family.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so they brought on this
His
person.
son died, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, or daughter, I think.
Yeah.
And so then, I mean, obviously, terrible loss. And so they
Yeah.
brought on someone just to finish off the project.
Yeah, that's why it was like butchered.
Yeah. They had to do a bunch of reshoots, which they're also doing for
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker at the moment, which is normal. Most of these big films have to go through
Reshoots.
Yeah.
And people always panic when they hear reshoots, right?
But it's completely
But
normal.
it's completely normal.
Yeah.
It's become, there's like a whole weird internet culture around like movies now, don't you think? It's
Yeah.
like
And Star Wars helped that.
there's so much like conspiracy and like weird theories and like
Yeah.
all these like rumors and shit that go around.
Mm.
It's so different to how it used to be.
I think because people are so protective of it. Like if they hear something's bad's happening.
People have that like weird ownership now of the things they like, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Which is great in some ways. Because it means that you do get like fan creations. A lot of the original Star Wars novels were by people who loved Star Wars.
Yeah,
And there's
all
some-
the expanded universe stuff.
Yeah.
The legends. Yeah,
And people love some of that stuff.
yeah. Some of it's good.
Yeah, and so like they're just fans and they're making work that they really love. Other times it can be really toxic and not healthy if you're that obsessed with
Yeah,
a film franchise.
yeah,
Comes from the people who have a Star Wars podcast.
yeah, yeah. We don't have a weird obsession.
No,
No,
completely normal.
we're normal people.
I think
yeah.
they've also announced. Did we want to talk about the game? Or...
Oh yeah, they also released a new trailer for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the new video game coming out by EA.
Yeah.
They were at E3, I think. They released gameplay footage. There was a trailer before that as well. This is just a new trailer showing more gameplay, and
Yeah.
there's more stuff about. Have you seen it much? Or
Yes, I saw the trailer.
yeah, so they showed off more of the villains and stuff.
Yeah, and
The,
more of like what is the plot? Like what is he going to be doing?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It looks like he's searching for something, right?
Yeah.
There's like some weird artifact or Jedi thing, like a temple
Yeah.
that he's searching for, and then I guess the Emperor or Darth Vader wants what they're also searching for the thing, right? I think that's what the plot's going to be.
Yeah. And it kind of reminded me of like a Rogue One vibe, like this person who's
Yeah.
not
He's
not
not really
committed.
he's not really committed to the cause, like the rebellion, right?
Yeah.
But he's joined up with them for his own purpose.
Yeah, because there's this band of heroes that are all coming to help.
Yeah, well, that's Star Wars.
Yeah. In a nutshell.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Are you gonna play the game?
Yeah, I'll probably play if it's good, of course.
Yeah.
I don't have money to spend on bad video games.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm hopeful that it's good. It's gonna be the first single player Star Wars game
In a
we've had.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they did the single player mode in Battlefront 2.
And apparently that's not very good.
It was very short, I think.
Yeah.
And it was meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like just looking at some of the gameplay they showed off, it looks like the gameplay is going to revolve around
Lightsaber combat.
lightsaber combat. Yes, so he's a Jedi, and it's going to be a lot of like big boss battles.
Yeah.
Because they showed off a bunch of monsters that you'll be fighting.
Yeah, it looks like God of War style.
Yeah.
Almost Assassin's Creed-y as well.
Yeah. I say God of
Well, that's the classic for EA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like God of War insofar as like not the combat itself,
No.
but you in God of War mostly you're just going from one big boss
To the next, yeah. And then you fight the little scrubs in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than something like a Force Unleashed, which was a lot of... That was probably the last single player game, wasn't it?
Yeah, standalone single player Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
That's before Disney.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
yeah. God.
It's been a while. That's why people have been going crazy about it. It's like, give us what we want. Like,
Yeah. So I still have concerns about the game. Some of the character animations look a bit Mass Effect Andromeda to me.
Yeah. I did notice in the last trailer the animations look a bit weird.
Yeah. I hope they fix it.
I think they'll probably fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've always looked weird to me. It almost looks like plasticine.
It's that uncanny valley
Yes.
effect, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks weird. Otherwise, the gameplay to me just looks standard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not excited by it.
No.
But, like, for me, the thing is, the story for me is what I'll mostly be looking forward to.
Yeah, and because all these games are going to be part of the Star Wars canon,
Yeah,
so it'll connect in with all the other films and TV shows and whatnot,
yeah,
which would be interesting to see if they link back to it.
yeah.
Because have they linked back to it? I know that
Well, the weird thing for me with Star Wars is, like, there's always been that weird... Is this with everything, or is it just me? But at least with Star Wars, I've noticed that the canon has always been... Like, sure, they say the comics are canon,
Yeah.
but they're so separate from the movies.
Yeah.
Like, even the TV shows, like Clone Wars and stuff, they're so separate, the canon is like...
Yeah.
It's like they're saying it's canon, but is it really?
So they don't link to it at all? Because I can't think, like, maybe the Darth Maul reveal in
That's
Han
like
Solo?
the biggest canon crossover we've got.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul, yeah, in Rogue One. I doubt we'll see him anytime soon again.
Yeah.
Apart from Clone Wars Season 7, that is.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I feel like there's always been this weird disparity between the movies and everything else.
Yeah. Because they've almost, like, sectioned it off.
Yeah. And they're I feel like they're afraid to tie everything in, which is weird. And I think that Kevin Feige coming on could help with that.
I think it's the opposite. I think because, like, you look at the Marvel movies they've done.
Yeah.
They basically take the Marvel storylines, but then edit them, change them around.
Yeah.
But they never reference what's going on in the comics, because most people don't read the comics.
Yeah. But that's a bit of a different...
Yeah.
Because they're not... the comics are separate.
Yeah.
Whereas the TV shows and the comics in Star Wars are like almost like tangents off from the movies.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like, we haven't seen that much integration between the non-movies...
The non-movie canon and movie canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe that will change. Maybe you're right. Like, Kevin Feige's project may have something to do with it.
Yeah. I want them to grab stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, from the old canon and use it. Because some of it's good.
Yeah. It would be...
Like, especially the Old Republic stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, they might do, or we're thinking they might do, an Old Republic TV show.
Yeah.
So maybe, they will go back and bring in some of that video game canon.
Yeah.
Into the films themselves.
Yeah. I think if they wanted to do a Marvel-style cinematic universe from, like, a good place to do that would be the Old Republic era. Because they can bring in, like, all these new characters and...
Yeah.
It's like a totally different story you're telling, right?
Yeah, and even if you basically redo the game storyline, most Star Wars fans even have not played the games.
No.
So for them it'll be new.
Yeah. And the story's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been episode 5 of the Star Wars Network podcast. Now this is podcasting. I've been Luke.
And I'm Dina.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. Subscribe on whatever you're watching.
Like, comment,
rate me.
Rate me. Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Pound it into the ground.
Yeah, pound me, please. Go follow us on Instagram at Star Wars Network. If you search that, it'll probably come up. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.